Good morning and welcome to 15 Minutes of Motivation. My name is Kate Batten. I couldn't even say it properly then. My name is Kate Batten and I am back for another 15 minutes of motivation with you, myself, and the next step of my coaching program. Now, if you're listening through iTunes, don't hesitate to go over to my YouTube channel, type into the search box 15 minutes of motivation, because as from now on, I'm actually giving away free my entire coaching program and all the exercises with it. Now, this entire coaching program does actually last about 54 modules. So we could be spending a lot of time together. I'm going to break it down so that we do 12 modules, and then I'm going to do a few shows as well, going back to the original format. And then I'll come back in and I will then give you more exercises and we'll walk through it all together all the way, so you're never alone. And I'm doing the exercises with you because I believe that you are not just a student for one day, a student for 2 days. You are a student for life. If you want to really work on yourself and you want to be serious about becoming a better you in more ways than you could imagine, so that's having high self-esteem, more self-confidence, really doing things that you know are possible in your life, and really just working on yourself, because you are the best investment that you could ever invest in. Excuse me. Yes, that little cough is still lingering there, but it's getting better each day, which I'm very appreciative for, especially how bad it was. Anyway, so this is the second show in the steps of me sharing my coaching program with you. So again, as it was laid out last week, in the description box, whether you're watching through YouTube or you're watching through my Facebook page at facebook.com/TheKateBatten, in the description box or in the comment box underneath the video, there is a Google document link, which will always lead to my exercise sheets. Now, the second exercise that we're going to be looking at today is called Flush Out Those Limiting Beliefs. Now, because when it comes to the beliefs in our heads, if you've never worked on yourself before and you've never invested in yourself in self-discovery or finding out about life coaching or finding out about CBT therapy, here's the situation that you are in right now. The thoughts in your mind, everything that you believe, you think it's true. And that is how it's shaped and formed your entire reality. So I'm going to give you, I don't know, a belief that I used to have of me, of myself, probably about 10 years ago. I used to think that I was useless. Okay, and this was a belief that I'd taken on from somebody else in my lifetime calling me useless, that I then believed it because it was limiting me to what I could actually achieve, and I believed I was useless. So my reality shaped and formed around me feeling useless about myself because I believed it. That belief was limiting me to what I could really achieve and what I could really do with my life. So when we come to think about the beliefs in your head today in this exercise, I really want to bring light to the ones that are limiting you, and where have they come from for you to believe them, for you to incorporate them into your reality so it shapes and forms your reality. Because really, us human beings are capable of some astounding things that you never thought possible, and all it takes is you to learn how to do it. That's it. The human mind is more powerful than any other computer on the planet. It is astronomical to what you could do with your brain and what you could learn to be and the skills that you could learn to enable you to achieve whatever you thought possible. It's all about learning. So if we wanted to be more self-confident, we just have to learn how to do it. But in order for you to change your reality, I have to look at the reality that you have now, because the thoughts and the beliefs that are in your mind might be limiting you to what you could actually achieve. So I'm going to challenge them today. Okay, so if you're going to download the sheet on the Google Doc link, it will be in the description under my YouTube video or under or above the description in my Facebook page. If you're listening through iTunes right now, what you could do is just listen to the audio and then go seek out the actual exercise page under one of my videos through my social media networks. So we're going to be looking at flushing out limiting beliefs, because now I've explained to you what a limiting belief is and how it really circles and shapes your life. It's really going to make you curious now to how this could be changed. How can it be changed? What we tend to do as human beings is, like I said, we believe what people tell us. We believe. And I want to challenge you to stop that today. So if anybody tells you something, I want you to challenge that and have a curious mind and think, am I really stupid? Well, no, you're not. Am I really fat and ugly? Well, no, you're not. Because what you're doing is incorporating their beliefs into you, which then is making you minimize your life to what it really could be, because you're taking on a belief that could limit you. So it's a limiting belief. When I'd let this go in my life, it was a huge opening to what I could achieve, what I could do, what I thought about myself, how my self-esteem had been crushed, how my self-confidence had been crushed through my entire life by believing what other people was telling me. So now when people tell me something, I challenge it. I want to know if there's any substantial evidence of this really being truthful, and then I will research it, and then I will only believe it when I know that it's been proven to me myself. So I tend to not let things anymore shape and form my reality by people telling me something and me believing it. So I know that I'm not ugly. I know that all the things that my abusive partner used to tell me were just a projection of his own feelings, because he was really had low self-esteem. He really had low self-confidence, and the only way that he felt better about himself was to bully me, which is what a bullying mindset does. So they have to get their power from making you feel small. But I was in the limiting belief that what he was telling me was completely true, which was then shaping and forming my reality, which I couldn't be doing and achieving the possible things that I could be doing today. So in order to break out that mold, I had to be challenged by my own beliefs. And that's what I'm going to do with you right now. So let's go back to the sheet. So I'm reading out to you. I'm going to read the exercise to you. I'm not going to tell you my answers until the very last part of this video. The reason behind that is because I don't want to influence your answers. I don't want to be the influencer of your answers by you thinking that you should place them down what I've put down, or feeling like that you can't put down what I've put down, or feeling like you can't live up to the standard that I've put down, so then you feel like a failure. I don't want any of that. So I'm going to tell you mine at the very end of what I've written down. But right now, this is about you and about your limiting beliefs. And I want you to write down and be completely 100% honest with yourself. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, you're never going to progress forward. Never. So it's a little sheet. It's only an exercise. It's only going to take you 15 minutes. I'm timing myself today. Already I've spoke 8 minutes and 37 seconds. Let's see if I just don't switch off this time. Okay, so let's run through the exercise, so we haven't got long, and I don't want to bore you like as much as I did in the first video, but it just had to be done. Okay, so flush out those limiting beliefs. Now at the top it says, before you can transform your negative thoughts and feelings, you need to become aware of this. Like I just run through right now, that you need to become aware of what you're thinking right now, because usually what you're thinking is usually a belief that you've believed, and it is limiting you from what you can truly achieve, because it's a false belief. Okay, so become aware of this. Here's a way in this exercise that I'm going to make you aware of them. Here is a list of beliefs that I would like you to complete. Now I ain't going to put it too close because I don't want you to see my answers. Now on here is a few bullet points with a sentence, and I want you to finish it. Be truthful, because at the end of the day, it's not me who wants to change you, it's you that wants to change you. So in order for you to change you, you need to be 100% honest with you. Like I have to be 100% honest with me in order for me to change, to become a better me. So it's just really finishing the sentences. So I'm going to read the sentences out to you. Stutter in there. Okay, so number one, when under pressure, what exactly do you do when you're under pressure? Write it down, be honest. If you panic, if you stress out, if you pull your hair out, if you scream, you run outside, you punch something, tell the truth, okay? Because otherwise we're not going to be able to move forward to make it better. When under pressure, what do you do? Number two, I often feel guilty about, what do you feel guilty about? Do you feel guilty about spending time on yourself, money on yourself, going out with your friends? What is it that makes you feel really, really guilty right now? Number three, when something happens, I stress out and feel like something. Okay, so when, what is it that you can put in there? When, what happens? When you have an argument, when you, I don't know, whatever it is that you want to put in there, what happens when something happens? So I don't know what it is that you want to place in there. You need to think about it. I stress out and feel like, what do you feel like? The next one, my greatest weakness is, and be completely honest, what is your greatest weakness that you have right now? What is a weakness that you have in your life that really tends to put a lot of pressure on you? What is it? You have we all have weaknesses, and anybody who says to you that don't have a weakness is bullshitting you. Everybody has a weakness because nobody's perfect. Nobody. So place your weakness down. And like I said, be 100% honest. Nobody else has to see these answers apart from you, because what it's going to do is make you realize about the limiting beliefs that are limiting you. And that is what it's all about. So then we can move forward and make it more positive. So nobody else has to see these sheets of paper. Nobody else has to read them. I will not be marking them because, like I said, in order for you to be a better you need to be honest with you. Okay. So the next one is, I'm always trying to stop, and it's got a missing space for you to place something in there from happening. What is it that you are scared of happening? Why? What is it that you feel it coming? You feel it coming on, or you notice it coming on, and you try and stop it from happening before you break out into mad panic? What is it? When the unexpected happens, what do you do? What do you do when the unexpected happens? How do you react? What do you say? What do you do? So place that in there. I always try to be. Always try to be what? What do you always try to be? Like I said, be honest, write it down. The next one is, the biggest obstacle that stops me loving and approving of myself is, what is it? And be honest again. What is the biggest obstacle that stops you from loving yourself or approving of yourself? What is it? And so you'd be surprised how many people say, I hate myself. And the reason that they've begun to hate themselves is because they take on the beliefs of what other people tell them. And it's such a sad state of affairs, because we are truly astounding miracles that are walking this earth. And I have seen and met some astonishing people in my life and in my career as a coach. And, you know, it's like, wow, the human body of what it's capable of. The soul of how strong it truly is and how unbreakable it can be, and how we can get up after being on concrete bottom and drag ourselves up and be even more stronger than we were previously. I tell you, us humans are amazing. So I want you to lift that far up, that limiting belief from your mind right now. What everybody tells you about you being useless is just the projection of their own useless self-worth. Okay, so after you've answered that one, what drives most of my behavior is, so what does drive behind most of your behavior? Some people, it can be anger, passion. What is it? What drives your behavior? It could be alcohol. I know mine was 10 years ago when I had terrible addictions, 10, 15 years ago when I had alcohol and drug addictions. Alcohol. I would drink 3 bottles of wine and then turn into nasty. You know, think about like You know the film The Exorcist, where the girl's on the bed and her head's spinning and she spews pea soup out? Yeah, that was me after 3 bottles of wine. I didn't realize I had an addiction, and I put myself in therapy for it. Best thing I ever did, because I realized it was the addiction that was really causing all of the anguish of my childhood to come up, and that was the pea soup. But who I was spewing that pea soup at was the people that was right in front of me that loved me the most. So what drives most of your behavior? So that's an important one to put down. The next one is, I'm afraid of. What is it that you are afraid of? The next one is, I seek my, it's a blank, approval, and then in commas, it says always, mostly, usually, occasionally. So that could be your husband, your friend, your girlfriend, your daughter, your son. Whose approval do you always seem to seek? My most frequent negative or uncomfortable emotion is, so get really in tune with that. What is your most frequent negative, uncomfortable emotion? What is it? Write it down. The feeling I dislike the most is, place it in there. What is it that you hate? The feeling, what is it? And I need to learn to be more, what is it that you need to learn to? I actually nearly read out my sentence then. So I'll read that again because it wasn't that. It's, I need to learn to be. What do you need to learn to be? What do you need to learn? It could be to stop listening to people and having limiting beliefs. Okay, so it doesn't take that long to fill out. And then the second part of it, at the top of the page, it says, congratulations, that took courage, which it does, because you've got to tell the truth. And we can get so blinded in our lives of covering up the truth and lying to ourselves, because we can be master liars to ourselves, especially when people say to us, this is the best one. This is the best one that we always lie about. When somebody says to us, how are you feeling? And we're feeling absolutely terrible, our heads are about to explode, and we go, I'm fine. We've all done it. Okay, step 2. So the second part, I can't even talk properly. The second part of this exercise is, now that you've identified your false beliefs, because they're staring you in the face, I want you to go back and redo the exercise. So you might want to print another one of these sheets out. You've got the link. Go back and redo the exercise, writing how you would love to be. So for example, when under pressure, so we're going to do the first one. When under pressure, I panic, to when under pressure, I think about the situation calmly and ask for support. So you're going to go through it again, and you're going to create a whole new belief system for yourself, which is going to be positive. Okay? So, like the first one. When under pressure, I panic. That's usually what some people say. I now want you to change it to, when under pressure, I think about the situation calmly and ask for support. Okay, so we're going to reevaluate your entire belief system. So everything that you've placed on that sheet right now, it's now going to be swapped to the beliefs that you truly desire them to be, because that's what it's all about. Your brain can be reprogrammed. Your belief system can be reprogrammed. All it takes is for you to want to do it. All it takes is for you to do the work to do it. And then that shapes and forms a completely different reality, a positive, happy, and joyful one. Okay? Instead of having the beliefs that are limiting you. So go through with the exercise sheet again, but now answer it with how you would love to be. So if the first one was, under pressure, I panic, scream, kick, pull my hair out, I now want you to change it to how you would love to feel and how you would love to be, which would be, I think about the situation calmly and ask for support. Or it could be, reach out to my friend and ask for help and not feel like I'm in this alone, because you can't do this alone. I'm living proof of that. I would not be who I am today just by thinking that I could do it all by myself, because that is stubborn, that is pride, ego, getting in the entire way of me having a better life by being a better me. So it's me that gets in my own way. And we do that all the time. We get in get in our own way. I better check my time. Oh my gosh, I've gone over already, 20 minutes. So I'm going to wrap it up for you. So basically go through the sheet, fill in the blanks, and then when it gets to the second part, you're going to redo the first part, but you're going to do it with how you would love to be. Okay? If you'd like to share your comments in the box below and your results and how it awakened you to finding out what you've been believing for so long is not really how you need to be, and how you can change it just by having a look at how you're believing now and what it could be, just by changing your belief pattern. So do share in your comments below, because I really do want to know in the comments box below how this has helped you and how these exercises are really helping you, and are they awakening your mind to a different way of thinking, because I hope so. So I'm going to quickly run through my answers, because I don't want you to copy my answers at all. So I'm going to quickly go through it. Now, 10 years ago, this would be completely different. So to you, me reading this out would be highly positive. Yet believe me, 10 years ago, I'd have been filling out the same things you would have been. Okay, so step one, when you're under pressure, I know I have taken on too much. And that's my belief. When I'm under pressure, I know I've taken on far too much and said yes too many times. Now, you probably would say, when I'm under pressure, I panic. I don't. I see it as a result of me lowering my boundaries and taking on far too much and really not respecting myself. So I start offloading what I should be doing. So I know I've taken on too much when I'm under pressure. Now, I wouldn't have said that 10 years ago. I'd have said I panic, scream, cry, pull my hair out. Now I don't. I know that it's a result of my own silliness of taking on too much. Okay, I often feel guilty about very little. I don't feel guilty about anything. No. I used to feel guilty about the weather. So this is why I'm saying that my answers were completely different to yours. And probably some of them you would think they're a bit harsh, but I've learned how to self-respect myself to a high standard and have high boundaries that I've worked on for many, many years to enable me to have the strength to write these. So I often feel guilty about very little. Nothing. Nobody should be left to feel guilty about anything in life. We all mess up. We all make mistakes. It's what you do from this day forward that really counts. Nothing else. It's all forgotten. Okay. So when there is a lot to do, something. No, I've read that completely wrong. When something happens, I stress out and feel like I'm overwhelmed. Okay, when I've put in here, I've read it wrong. When there is a lot to do, I stress out and feel like I'm overwhelmed. Okay, so I do. When there's a lot to do, I feel overwhelmed. But what I do is I now ask for help. I recognize that I'm overwhelmed and I ask for help. I never used to do that. I used to think I could do it all by myself, pride. I do this all by myself, and I wasn't. I was lying to myself. Okay, so that's mine. My greatest weakness is taking on too much, like I said. I've been in therapy for that, for being a workaholic. So now when it sneaks back in and I'm taking on a bit too much, my husband will tell me, you're taking on too much. I'll retract and undo it all and become highly aware each and every time that I'm not taking on too much. But my greatest weakness is I take on too much. And it's something that I have to work on constantly each and every day. I'm always trying to stop past mistakes from happening. And I do that now. Now, this will be something completely different. This will be different to you, that you're always trying to stop something from happening. I'm always trying to stop past mistakes by happening, by moving forward and working on myself every single day. Now, we have to be realistic about this. I had addictions. I had major traumatic events happen to me in my childhood. I've had major issues to deal with in my life. So if I don't move forward, the past mistakes are going to start popping up. The addictions are going to pop up. The nastiness and all of this is going to start popping up if I don't keep moving forward and working on myself daily. There is no going back. Once you start on this, there's no going back. So yeah, I'm always trying to stop my past mistakes from happening by working on myself every day. So when the unexpected happens, I seem calmer than I used to, a lot calmer. When the unexpected happens and everyone's freaking out, going, ah! I'm like, okay, so let's find a solution. I never used to be like that. I used to be one of them running around panicking. I always try to be a better person every day. That is absolute truth. It is my statement that I am going to be a better person today than I was yesterday. I'm always finding ways of being a better person every day because, like I said, going up to the past mistakes, that's the only way to stop it from happening. Moving forward and be a better person every single day. I always try to be a better person every day, and that's what I put. The biggest obstacle that stops me loving and approving of myself is myself, because it's nobody else no more, because I don't see it like that. 10 years ago, I believed everything that everybody told me. I believed that when they told me I was fat, ugly, couldn't do anything right, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I used to believe all of that. I don't believe any of that now because I know that it's their hatred and their feelings and their love for still self-esteem projecting onto me to try and get some feel-good factor from it. So the only person that stops me loving and approving of myself now is me. And how do I stop that? Again, by working on myself every single day and realizing that I am amazing, that I am beautiful, that I have contributed to this world, that I continue to contribute to this world, that I'm astounded in what I've achieved. Say that I came from a background where I couldn't read and write properly because I never really went to school. So to be in uni now and second year in my degree, to have written all them books, to be able to achieve what I've done, wow. So if there's something in me that says you can't do that, then it's me. It's me that's doing it to myself, because it's not other people, because I don't believe what anybody else tells me, because that's an only projection of their own emotion when it's something nasty. Okay, so that is huge. The biggest obstacle that stops me loving and approving of myself is myself. What drives most of my behavior is passion. I got tons of passion. And I want to document everything so that it helps my grandchildren, and my grandchildren get to watch this and see me long after I've gone. They get to read my books, they get to do everything, and their grandma gets to speak her wisdom to them. And if it helps other people along the way, bonus. My only goal in life is to help one person per day. If I do that, brilliant. My job's done. Okay, what am I afraid of? I'm afraid of dying young. That is my only fear in life, is that I die and don't get to do my bucket list. That I die too young and I don't get to see my grandchildren grow up. That is my only fear right now, because if I was taken away now, at the age of 40, I would be leaving a husband behind when we've only been married 2 years. I would be leaving my kids behind. I would be leaving my very young grandchildren behind, and it would be disastrous for them. So that is my only fear. So in the time that I am on this planet, each and every day is a gift, and I'm going to make sure that while I am here, that I'm going to become a better person, that I'm going to work as hard as possible to get exactly what I want, to do my bucket list, and to be the most inspirational person that I could ever be. So that is the only fear I've got. So the next one is, I seek my husband's approval, usually. Because I'm working on it. I'm working on it. He will tell me he approves of stuff and I just go do the complete opposite, or he doesn't approve and I'll just go do the complete opposite because I'm a rebel. I'm still working on that. But I don't think I need his approval on everything, because I've got a mind of my own. But sometimes I don't listen to his advice and I'm terrible for it. I don't seek anybody's approval. The only approval I seek is my husband's, and it's usually or occasionally. And he'll say yes to that. My most frequent negative, uncomfortable emotion is feeling pain and grief. That is something that I've had to live with for the past 2.5 years. And when I lost my grandson, it was like I'd been hit by a double-decker bus. That's the only way that I could describe it. A big red London double-decker bus. That's how it felt. Off my feet and in midair, and then crash on my backside. That's how it felt. And I still live with it each and every day for the past 2.5 years, and it's working on it every single day. If you don't watch the video last week, I just shared with you that I actually started a non-profit angel gown sewing service where I sewed angel gowns for the local hospital where David passed away. And that was to ease my grief, because if I was giving, I was healing that hole that was there. Because that was one of the worst experiences that we've ever been through as a family. And even though we're a close family and we're a strong family, it blew an hole in us. And it's something that we had to learn step by step over the past 2.5 years to live with and get back on our feet with. And yeah, so that was the most negative, uncomfortable emotion feeling that I felt in the past 2.5 years is grief. So the one under it, the feeling I dislike the most is grief, because it is, even though that death happens to us, it's a natural thing in everyday life and we can't get away with it, it's still the most painful thing to lose somebody. Okay, and the last one, I need to learn to be more patient, always and forever. I always need to learn to be patient. Okay, I'm working on that every single day as well, just to be a bit more patient. 10 years ago, I didn't have the patience for anything. Nothing. Nowadays, I have bags of patience and I'm still working on it. Sometimes some little things still irritate me and I have to take a deep breath and explain it to myself and get out of that situation and stop letting it annoy me. But patience is something that we always have to work on every day to be a better human being. So thank you for listening. I hope you found that exercise really awesome. I've gone on for 30 minutes. Whoops. And if you want to download the sheet of paper, the exercise sheet is in the description box under my video in YouTube or above my video on my Facebook page. I hope this exercise really helps you open up to the limiting beliefs that have been limiting you for so long. And I will be back next week with another coaching exercise and we're going to work through that one. The next one is really talking about self-care and having time for yourself and making you open up your eyes to realize how much time you don't have for yourself and how much you put yourself to the back of the queue when it comes to everybody else. Okay, so have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, don't hesitate to hit the subscription button so you'll get notified every time I upload one of these videos. If you're on iTunes, thank you so much for listening through to the audio, and I hope you do take out the exercises because they're life-changing. Just go over to YouTube, type in 15 minutes of motivation into this search box, or go over to Facebook, and my address page is facebook.com/VKateBatten, and then you'll find my videos there, and the description link will be in the description. So for the sheets that you can download and go along with this life coaching course. Like I said previously, I used to charge thousands for this life coaching program, and I'm giving it all to you for free and documenting all of this so it is a legacy for my grandchildren. Because like I said, none of us know exactly how long we've got on this planet. So if I'm documenting absolutely everything that I know, then at least I'm helping you along the way. So have a beautiful day, and I shall be back next Monday for another exercise. I'll speak to you then. Bye for now.